All right, we are back with some more Week 4 action. We've got a matchup from Division D, MCM, matched up against PDU. So PDU here on the right, A10 their captain, Mr. F4 the captain for MCM. And going into Week 4, these are the top two ranked teams in Division D. MCM, the 1 seed, PDU, the 2 seed. Let's take a look at the civs here. So the maps, we've got Arabia, Hideout, and Nomad. So I think it is Nomad for PDU, Hideout for MCM. So let's see if we can't guess the civs here. So MCM, let's Frank's Ethiopians. That's almost certainly Arabia. Nomad, I'm sure we're looking at Persians. I think Sicilians will be for Hideout. Man, that's a tough call. Actually, Sicilians, Persians for Nomad, Vietnamese, Lith, Hideout. That's what I'll go with there. On the other side, Spanish, that'll be Nomad. The other Nomad Civ, though. Malians, probably, right? Malians, Spanish. I'm thinking Mayans, Indians for Arabia, and Bohemians, Italians for Hideout. Let's go with that. And the bands, we've got Britons and Koreans band. So yeah, interested about the Koreans pick. Maybe that PDU saw MCF have good luck with them in a previous set. As for Britons, well, they just get banned all the time in this tournament. All right, without much further ado, game 1, Arabia, let's go. Okay, so PDU, we've got A10 in Big Walt, A10 here in the green, Big Walt here in the blue. Big Walt will be the Mayans, A10 will be the Indians. I think we got that pick right. But on the other side, way off. Didn't they have Franks and Ethiopians in the pool? Isn't that right? And yeah, going with Sicilians and Vietnamese. So an unorthodox pick here, but excited to see this one. Mr. F4 as the Vietnamese in the red. Chidwick in the yellow. Okay, so we've got PDU's archers matched up against the Cav for the other side, and vice versa down in the south. Take a look at the maps here. So very, very open in the back for Mr. Chidwick here. Chidwick's going to have to come forward for one of these two extremely forward wood lines. When you're up against Mayans, that is not ideal. Forward gold, forward berries. That's a garbage map. On the other side, for MCM over here, Mr. F4. Garbage wood line with the Oasis in it, but he's got a real safe one back here, so that's decent. Berries are okay. Gold is very exposed, but at least it's on the backside here. So yeah, I guess you go with a lumber camp there. Not a great map, but better than Chidwick's. Over on this side, looking at the Indians map. Man, yeah, these maps are all super open. So I think a good map to be pretty aggressive on. Yeah, that gold's going to be relatively exposed. I guess maybe you get your production buildings out front of there. And yeah, walling. That's a hard map to wall on. All right, and finally looking at Big Walt's map. Relatively safe gold. I like that. The berries are a bit forward, but biggest issue is wood. Got this wood line. This wood line's, you know, mostly eaten up by the Oasis. This wood line is halfway to the enemy, and these two are way back there. So yeah, wood is the biggest issue on this one. Where do you even build a second lumber camp here as the mines player? I guess you come way back here, right? I think you have to. That's brutal. I mean, you could just put two wood lines or two lumber camps on a single wood line, but you will eat through that real quick. Yeah, man, this is an open gen. So yeah, feudal pressure, definitely the way to go here. No one in their right mind would think about trying to FC on this map. All right, what do we have for scouting information right now for the players? Green continuing to push deer. Red is just moving out now to scout his opponent. Blue actually coming this way. Maybe thought about... Oh, I missed to see if our Vietnamese player maybe tried to lame. But nope, doesn't look like it. 1 boar, 2 boar. So didn't go forward for the lame. Green continuing to push deer here. Yellow starting on the walls. Yeah, this makes sense. I mean, yeah. I think you definitely want to get your production out there. This gold has to stay safe at all costs. Honestly, after looking at some of these other maps, Chidwick's is maybe one of the better ones. Because you got 2 decent wood lines here. You wall between the wood lines. Maybe wall around to the TC. Wall down to the TC. And you'll have your gold inside those walls. Your berry inside those walls. So, Chidwick's might actually be one of the better maps here. Alright, what about uptimes? We have 19 pop up here for A10. So, going to have some early scouts on the field. Pushing in all the deer as well. So, he'll be able to live off of this pork for a while yet. And 20 pop here for the Vietnamese player. All right, actually 20 pop. Yeah, so going to be some pretty early archers here from Mr. F4. It'll be a little bit later uptime here for the Sicilians player as he invests into those walls. 22 pop for the Mayans. And all right, here was the choice for the second lumber camp. I mean, you do have scouts at least. I think if it was archers over here, you don't take that wood line. It just seems like it'd be so hard to keep it safe. But you are up against scouts, so you can always just go with small resource walls. So I think, yeah, that does make sense. All right, A10 heading out to scout red here. He is up to feudal age. Here comes the stable. All right, yellow going for some ambitious walls here. Gonna go for the full walls. All right, Mr. F4 is up as well. Here comes that first range. So we're gonna have some early archers on the field. And I was just about to say, we'll probably want to add some spears here up against the cap player. And that is what Mr. F4 is doing. All right, spears are already moving forward. And yeah, with real quick archers here, you get a couple spears out. You know your opponent's not going to be walled with this kind of map. Alright, our Mayans player up as well. Dropping a stable pretty far back, actually. So not going to use it as part of the walls. A10 is going to take this as his second lumber camp. Alright, the scouts are forward. First archer is out. So yeah, does F4 build a second archery range here, or does he go immediately into a blacksmith? 4 on gold. I think you go with a blacksmith here. You're up against the cav guy, yeah. And that is what he opts to do. So he's going to move forward right away, and this is going to be tricky for A10 to defend. A10 does have 4 scouts on the field, but there's 2 spears here. Yeah, that is tough. All right, resource walls coming down for Big Walt. Double range, and we'll have a blacksmith soon here. But nearly full walls here for Chidwick. So Chidwick going scouts. Has 3 on the field compared to 5 here for A10. But how does A10 defend against this? No fletching, though, on these archers, though, so shouldn't be any losses here for A10. All right, yeah, so this is probably a good call. Big Walt is going to send his archers here immediately, although he is going to get this one picked off. And with that, yeah, with 2 range production, as long as he's got a few spears at home, he could send the archers over here, and then A10 and Big Walt could push together against Mr. F4. But with all these spears in the mix, that probably makes the most sense. All right, A10 actually adding a third lumber camp because of, yeah, being pushed off that one. So even though no kills, it's already costed, it's already cost A10 100 wood plus the idle time. And over on this side, Chidwick scouts in here on blue. And yeah, they will get one Vil here. Nicely done. Despite having the spears in there, spears just outside the line of sight with those scouts. He's gonna lose a second Vil here. Yes. All right, this is a very nice raid so far by Chidwick. And over here, A10 decides to make a jump on the archers, the spears. Gonna get wrecked here by the archers. Really nicely done there by PDU. Drawing the spears away, cleaning the archers, and now they should have a good opportunity for a counterattack. Mr. F4 still sitting on one range, so it doesn't have great numbers here. Fletching on the way for both of our archer players. And at the moment, pretty even Vil count. Only 2 Vil lead here for PDU. And a 5 military advantage as well. Alright, A10's got to be careful here. There's a lot of spears in the mix. Ooh, takes a lot of free hits there. Nice engagement for F4. Alright, and the archers for Big Walt had just been going home when A10 gets back on the phone, calls him back to his base. We got 12 farms here for... Ooh, man. Look at the farm eco for Chidwick. So, Chidwick, at the moment, looking like he will be the first one up. All right, let's see. Let's see the micro here for Mr. F4 and Big Walt. Yeah, Mr. F4 should get cleaned here. Doesn't look like any upgrades on these scouts. Chidwick does have the armor, the attack upgrade. A little bit of a counterattack here by Big Walt. And where are the scouts right now for Chidwick? All right, okay. Here we go. So they're trying to link up here with Mr. F4. Overshot him a little bit. But yeah, if they can get these two groups together, they do have a numbers advantage here. A slight one, at least. And the upgrade advantage. A nice take there by Big Walt. Manages to get the hill. Mr. F4 gets the hill back and ends up being a clean for F4. Nicely done. Alright, but these scouts still split up from the archers. Alright, no one has clicked quite yet. Chidwick looks like he'll be the first up, although he is investing in that armor upgrade. So too is A10. I don't think this is a good fight for Chidwick. He takes the fight while the archers are still out of range. And he loses 4 scouts basically for free there. So all of a sudden, MCM with the military advantage. I think if Chidwick had taken that fight with the archers, might have gone very differently, but this will be a clean for PDU. All right, yeah, PDU with a big military advantage. Can they press this advantage, though, before Castle Age? Chidwick getting that Bloodlines upgrade for the 5 scouts he has here. A lot of spears in the mix for Big Walt. So does Mr. F4 have archers? Yes, he's got 11 of them. Here they come. All right, A10 looks like he's going to run right into the mix. Another good engagement there for Mr. F4. So military numbers now looking relatively even. This game is really tight at the moment. No clear favorite, although this could be a good counterattack here. Yeah, Big Walt's, his military units are split up. He's got one army up here at Chidwick's base, another linking up with the A10, looking to move on Mr. F4. And I think this little group is going to get cleaned here. So Mr. F4 overshoots him a little bit. Okay, he will get those spears. And yeah, there's the clean. But where does this army go? Ooh. It's going to be a much earlier castle time here for A10. 24 farms. So he could open 3 stable if he wanted here, or just have a really cooking eco on 2 stable. But, yeah, he's up. Knights are going to be on the field soon. But PD with an opportunity to score a lot of damage here on Mr. F4. They've got a huge numbers advantage. Some good upgrades on these units. Mr. F4 off the gold. A lot of spears in the mix as well. And yeah, they're going to push this army back. So very nicely done here by MCM. All 4 players now on their way to Castle Age. Good micro here by Big Walt. Cleans all the spears. Has the hill bonus, but numbers advantage here for Mr. F4. And yeah, this will be a clear for MCM. And alright, here comes a second TC. 3 stable for Chidwick. 3 stable, 2 TC. They get the clean on this end. And yeah, now it does look real good for MCM. They are down 8 vills though. But that number will be a lot closer by the time PDU hits Castle Age. And I expect MCM to have a vill lead here in just a few minutes. It's still pretty open here for A10. Hasn't been able to wall. Neither has Mr. F4. No surprise there. This map is extremely open. 3rd TC coming down here for Chidwick. Where is he going to send the opening knights? Yeah, it looks like he's sending him towards A10. And they're going to link up with these archers. A panic tower here for A10, but that thing is not going up. He's going to delete that. And he is under serious pressure here. Yeah, wide open on this end. If the knights get down here, they'll push him off gold. He's going to have no way to produce the camels of his own. And what about Expo? Yeah, it's going to be in for Mr. F4 before Big Walt. I think PDU is in big trouble here. Expo. Yeah, how does A10 survive here? I do not... I don't see a great way, although he is getting decent camel numbers out here. Yeah, I mean, MCM is prioritizing the eco. Both players on their team opting for 3 TC right off the rip. So if there is a way back in for PDU, it's, I think, for them to go just really prioritize that military and hope they can snowball a military advantage into a win.
Shot it.
Pretty even numbers here. What the upgrades look like. +2 armor for both cav units. Yeah, the upgrades are identical, but the camels go down. Yeah, looks like this is going to be a slight win for MCM. Hard to call, though. Oh, yeah, reinforcements coming in for Mr. F4. Yeah, this will definitely be a clean for MCM. And A10 just cannot take gold. He's having to move all over the place. Siege Workshop coming down now. I was just about to say, man, if Big Walt had ballistics there, he would have gotten some great value. Didn't have it at the time. Ballistics on the way. Yeah, identical military numbers. Vil numbers are still actually really close. But these additional TCs, I mean, we should see that Vil number start pulling ahead here for MCM. All right, ballistics is in now. If our Mayans player can, what's he on? 3 range and 3 range as well for the Vietnamese player. Yeah, if you're the Mayans player here, this is a fast imp situation into Arbalist. And hope to punish the Cav player close to you. Well, actually, adding a second TC, so... Man, has the res, though. Just needs a bit more gold, but definitely has the food. Yeah, I think your big Walt here, try to conserve the archer numbers. Sell that gold, or sell for gold. Get up. Vietnamese player definitely not thinking about fast imp here. Get the camels in front. It's got some camel numbers here. I think they could definitely jump on this. Ooh, this would be probably a good take here for Chidwick, jumping on the reinforcements. Big Walt paying attention, though. And yeah, we'll be able to micro those down. So nicely done there by Big Walt. And the pressure's on. There is a 12 military advantage now for PDU. If they can take this fight together, they do have ballistics. Ooh, if they can take this fight before ballistics comes in for F4, it'll be in. All right. Imp on the way for Big Walt. He's getting raided on the gold, though. That is going to hurt his fragile eco. He needs that gold to continue producing the archer numbers. That is his only source of gold. And yeah, definitely needs to keep his numbers alive. And props to A10 here. He had a lot of idle eco, and despite that has managed to produce a pretty healthy number of camels here. And yeah, if they get that imp tech, and they can 2v1 here, Mr. 4, while Chidwick's knights are elsewhere, they could rip through his base real quickly. They are now down 30 vils. All right. Yeah, Big Walt has to be very careful here not to lose his archer mass. Only has 29 archers, and he's going to need every single one of those to become Arbalist here. All right, that mango will go down for A10. Nice clear there by Chidwick. Chidwick looking to get the surround on the archers. All right, nice positioning of the camels there by Big Walt, or sorry, by A10. But I think, yeah, you gotta fall back here. Gotta wait for the Arbalist to come in. And once Imp comes in, I think we're gonna see MCM try to jump on this army. All right, Big Walt selling his way, trying to get the upgrades. He needs Arbalist, needs Bracer. Gets a little bit of res from his teammate. And A10 on 3 TC himself now. Yep. All right, look at this. MCM trying to get the jump here on Big Walt. But, boy, there are a lot of camels in the mix. Fight looks pretty good so far for MCM. Arbalist, 20 seconds. Keep those babies alive. Bracer on the way as well. This could be really, really good here for PDU. Arbalist is in. Nice micro there by F4. Camel numbers are shrinking fast here. An Imp on the way for F4. So can F4 survive the pressure that's about to come his way? If so, he's going to have a better eco than his archer counterpart, who is actually starting to boom now that he is an Imp. Yeah, there aren't very many Arbalists here, though. Only 15 of them. And F4's done a great job keeping this mass alive. Really nice micro on his part. Yeah, and now the 2v1 going in the other direction. Big Walt having to kite for his life here. Great defense by MCM. They survive that early Imperial power spike. And yeah, Mr. F4 with very healthy expo numbers here. A minute and a half from Imp. He'll have Arbalist himself. 123 Vils for the Sicilians player. And he's going to drop a castle here right in the middle of the map. We'll certainly secure some wood. He's got to be careful here, though. There are Arbalists really close by. Yeah, so I think probably the biggest issue there for Big Walt was he had the tech bonus, but just never had the mass. I think if he had been able to get that forward army together with his reinforcements, could have maybe made something of that push. Now here he is picking a lot of F4's Vils. F4 just now noticing. Alright, Imperial Age on the way for both Cav players. Mr. F4 should clean these Arbalists, no problem. Arbalist on the way for himself. But he is getting raided over here, right? No mobility. This army busy dealing with Big Walt. Camels raiding on the other side. And look at this. The Vil number's almost dead even here. Yeah, I like that castle. That's a good spot for that. All right. Late game. What do we think about late game? Chidwick is going to have access to the best cavalier in the game when it comes to dealing with archers. So, yeah, it will be tough, I think, for Big Walt on his side. Might want to think about mixing some Halbin as he gets deeper into Imperial Age here. But, boy, yeah, this is a nice mass of Arbalists moving in on A10. Ooh, man, that castle, I think that's going to get denied. Although, he's buying himself some time here. At a big cost, so throwing away all those camels. Look at the military advantage. 69 military for MCM, 22 for PDU. The castle does go up. But these Arbalists can just tear through this eco. Look at 35 farms right there. Oh, it lands a nice little shot with the mango. Alright, on the other side. An in-your-face castle here by Chidwick. Can he keep that alive? I think he can. Yet here comes the... what's it called? Hauberk upgrade. Cavalier upgrade as well. Yeah, this looks very, very good for MCM. Yeah. F4 just machine gunning down the light cav. And A10's eco is a wreck at the moment. 152 Vils for our Sicilians player. And yeah, if you're Big Walt, I think you gotta mix in Halb. I think that's maybe what he's thinking here, but doesn't have the production buildings for it yet. Just the one barracks. These Arbalists are not gonna do well against massive numbers of these Cavalier. Yeah, 2+6 Pierce armor. Those are some real meat shields there. And look at this. The Arbalist now tearing into Big Walt's eco. Yeah, we might see the GG here not too long. Alright, yeah. Cavalier all over the place in Big Walt's eco. Jumping on the Arbalist. 92 military to 50. Markets coming down for A10. I haven't seen markets yet for MCM. Oh no, those traps are going to go down. Yeah, and MCM just all over the eco for PDU. Almost 100 Vils ahead at this point. Yeah, that micro is nice by F4. The GG is called. And game one goes to MCM, the 1 seed, taking that game over the 2 seed. And yeah, what did that game come down to? Hard to say exactly. I mean, I think a really big point in that game was when MCM was able to defend against that fast Imperial play by Big Walt. But the reason they were able to do that was because they were already out ahead. So I think that faster castle time for Chidwick, I just had a lot more farms. And part of that was because of that really, really early pressure that Mr. F4 put on A10. The reason A10's farm production was lagging behind Chidwick's, I think, was just because of that pressure. Yeah, so that, you know, kind of goes to show you how small decisions at the start can really snowball later. The early pressure, slowing down the castle time here for A10. And that basically just let MCM have the initiative that entire game. They got more idle time in on A10 in early Castle Age. They used that early aggression to boom behind. They did fall behind in military numbers there for a while in Castle Age, but it never really seriously threatened them. I mean, there was almost no damage taken inside of F4's base apart from some of those camel raids in early Imperial Age. And then the free unrestricted Sicilians boom 160 vills. And yeah, the matchups were good as well. Let's take a look at the stats here. Yeah, very healthy KD ratios there for MCM. A lot of this, though, was probably in the last 5 minutes of the game. And yeah, look at this, 10k more than his Cav counterpart. Big Walt actually neck and neck with the eco of Mr. F4. But I think another difference in that game was F4, when he did have it, like, he managed to keep his archers together, so he had that really critical mass you need to take really good fights. Big Walt, in Feudal Age, Castle Age, and even in early Imperial Age, had his army sort of broken into two different groups. And sometimes that can be the right call, because you can apply pressure on the opponent where their military isn't. But it can also mean that your smaller military gets jumped on and cleaned, and that, in this case, is what happened. All right, game 2, let's go. Nomad. All right, here we go. Berbers, Persians for MCM. So I think I got that one wrong. I was thinking Persians and what was the other civ they had in there? Maybe I was thinking Vietnamese for Nomad. But Berbers are a great civ on this map. You obviously have the option to apply some pressure in early Castle Age with the cheaper knights, but you also have a nice unit for the late game in Camel Archer. On the other side, we've got A10 playing as the Italians. Actually, Italians could be pretty nice here because you're going to have a counter to basically everything that your opponents are going to want to put out there. Genoese is going to be a counter to Camel, to Knights, to Camel Archer, and easy access to stone there for A10. A10 teamed up with Malians. So yeah, the standard play when you're looking at this kind of combo is you'll have A10 get to stone really early, possibly not contest water at all, just go straight for the fast castle, get a castle down, get some Genoese on the field, and start applying pressure. And the Malians player will use that pressure to boom behind. So yeah, most likely we'll see Big Walt go on water here in Feudal Age. And A10, my guess would be, is going to go straight up, although you could certainly see him play the water as well. Italians No slouch on water. All right, dock location. Our Berbers player right next to our Italians player. I think you're probably pretty happy with that. If you're Mr. F4, you want to clean those fish as quickly as possible to try to slow down the castle age time, or at least make it so that when A10 hits castle age, he's going to have trouble getting all the upgrades he needs for the Genoese crossbow. Our Malians player up here in a really nice corner location. I like that. He'll certainly be able to apply pressure onto Mr. F4 here if he wants. But he's a pretty long ways off. Look at this. Chidwick laming the boar. Now, Big Walt could drop a house on this board to de-aggro it. And then fire an arrow shot at it before Chidwick does. It's kind of the only way to counter this here. What is happening right now? Yeah. I think we just had a crash. Because Nomad. Yep. Yep, it's the treaty box thing. Any map that has a treaty box in it, for some reason the replay breaks like 60-70% of the time. And that's what we had here. So sadly, we will not get to watch the game. The result of this game, though. Yeah, so this one ended up going to MCM as well. They had a 2-0 sweep in this set. And so that left MCM in the 1 seed. And after week 4, PDU ended up falling to the 3 seed. So the results of week 4, MCM in the 1 seed, Sean and Sloan in the 2 seed, PDU in the 3 seed, and the Nameless in the 4 seed. So round 1 of the playoffs coming up this week. We'll have MCM up against the Nameless. And yeah, the Nameless actually somehow managed to not play a single set the entire group stage. They had either admin wins or admin losses, but I guess enough admin wins. No, okay. Yeah, they had 2 admin wins, an admin loss, and a draw. And that managed to put them over the 3 teams that fell below them. So they will be the 4 seed, but they will be a surprise for MCM as there is no game tape on them from this tournament. So best of luck to MCM in the first round of the playoffs. PDU not eliminated from as a result of this set. As I mentioned, they will play against the 2 seed, which is Sean and Sloan. And that will be an exciting one. All right, that is it for this set. I will see you guys soon.